It's extremely likely that you'll be asked the walk me through your resume question at some point during the real estate interview process, and in my opinion, this is a really good thing. If you answer this question correctly, this can be a huge opportunity to shape the narrative around your background, your qualifications, and why you're a natural fit for the job, but it's also easy to mess this up, especially if you're not prepared. So to make sure you're ready in case this question is thrown your way during an interview, in this video we'll walk through how to answer the walk me through your resume question and what to avoid in your response to this at all costs. So if you end up being asked the walk me through your resume question, the first thing I'd recommend talking through, especially if you're new to the industry, is what initially drew you to the field of commercial real estate. This can involve mentioning a family member that worked in the real estate industry when you were growing up. This could be an interest in the physical aspects of real estate from a very young age, or this could just be a general interest in finance and math and how that applies to where people work, shop, and live. And if you didn't grow up knowing that you wanted to be in real estate, this is also a great opportunity to talk through any experiences that put real estate on your radar in the first place and what ultimately solidified your interest in this specific career path. For a lot of people, this ends up being an experience in college that exposes them to the industry for the first time, often in the form of a class they took, an event they went to, or even a specific conversation they had with someone in the industry. This point is especially applicable for people with a major that's not directly related to real estate or finance, and if you fall into this category, this can be a great opportunity to talk through the steps you're taking to catch up and learn more about the industry. This can involve highlighting additional college coursework you took after you decided on real estate as a career path. This can involve highlighting real estate courses you took online to improve your technical skills related to the field, or this could even involve getting a real estate license to learn more about the industry. The goal here is to make sure that the interviewer knows that real estate is where you want to be, even if your academic background or your work experiences up to this point don't make that clear. Now, once you've talked through your interest in real estate, the next thing you'll want to do is proactively address any short stints or gaps in your resume that might raise questions later on in the interview. While recruiters and hiring managers can obviously read your resume themselves, these people will automatically make assumptions related to certain experiences or timelines on your resume, and this is your chance to explain why you chose certain jobs over others and why you ultimately chose to move on from each different opportunity. This point is especially relevant for people who have jumped around a lot in their careers or have a major gap in their resume, and while there's no shame in moving on quickly when something isn't the right fit or struggling to find your next opportunity when you lose a job unexpectedly, how you choose to explain these things matters a lot. When you have a short stint in a full-time job, which would usually fall under the category of less than about 12 months, you generally want to keep the focus on what you are moving towards rather than what you are moving away from. This means that if you left a job after only 6 months because of a difficult office environment or a manager that you just couldn't stand to work for, this is not the time to talk negatively about your former employer, and instead you'll want to use this as an opportunity to talk through why you were so excited about starting the next job you took. And if you found yourself unexpectedly laid off and without a job for 6 months, instead of focusing on how difficult the hiring process was, this is an opportunity for you to talk through how this gave you time to reflect and helped you be even more intentional about the next job you took. This is a part of the interview where you can really control the narrative around your background in a way that just isn't possible on paper, and you have the opportunity here to explain anything on your resume that you think could be misunderstood or potentially seen in a negative way. Now, the last thing you want to include in your answer to this question is what I like to call a highlight reel of the specific work and academic experiences that have made you uniquely qualified for the role you'd be taking on. What you don't want to do when answering this question is just read through your resume in chronological order, and instead you want to go into the interview knowing which experiences you want to pull out and highlight that can make it obvious that you are a clear fit. Now, this inevitably involves doing some homework up front and sitting down with both your resume and the job description side by side and connecting what you've done and what you know to what would be required of you if you were offered the position. This is also your opportunity to get specific about why you want to work at this company over other options in the industry, including how you fit in with the company's culture, your interest in the specific property type or geographic region you'd be working on, or even your desire to work for a much bigger or a much smaller company than the one you're currently working for. In a competitive hiring market, there might be a lot of candidates that fit the general description of what a company is looking for, but there are often very few candidates that stand out from both a qualifications and a fit perspective. And if you could find something that makes you stand out and connect with the company beyond just your skills and experiences, this can make you a much more attractive candidate when going through this process. Now, before we wrap this video up, I want to mention two more things that are really important components to your answer to this question. The first thing is that even though it might feel like the interviewer is asking you to talk through your entire work history from start to finish, your answer here should only take about 2 to 3 minutes in total. Your main goals when answering this question should just be to proactively address any potential red flags on your resume that might come up later on in the interview, while also concisely explaining why you've made the career-related decisions you have up to this point. And the second thing I want to mention is that even though if you're interviewing for a job, you're very likely very ready to move on from your current role for a variety of different reasons, you never want to talk negatively about a current or a former employer. Even if you're having a bad experience at work that has nothing to do with you, bad-mouthing your team or your entire company will almost always end up hurting you in the long run, since the default assumption is usually that you're contributing to the problem and you'd likely bring those issues wherever you'd go next. Real estate is also a very small industry, meaning that whatever you say in an interview setting will very likely get back to the people you're talking about. So again, even if things aren't great in your current position, placing the focus on what you're excited to move towards is going to be a lot more helpful than talking negatively about who or what you're trying to move away from. So I hope this is helpful as you're preparing for the real estate interview process. And if you want more help with interviews and you want to make sure you have the technical skills you'll need to pass an Excel modeling exam that might be given to you by commercial real estate investment, development, or brokerage firms, make sure to check out our all-in-one membership training platform, Breaking into CRE Academy. A membership to the Academy will give you instant access to over 120 hours of video training on real estate financial modeling and analysis. You'll get access to hundreds of practice Excel interview exam questions, sample acquisition case studies, and you'll also get access to the Breaking into CRE Analyst Certification exam, which covers topics like real estate pro forma and development modeling, commercial real estate lease modeling, equity waterfall modeling, and many other real estate financial analysis concepts that will help you prove to employers that you have what it takes to tackle the responsibilities of an analyst or associate at a top real estate firm. And if you like this video and want to see more content on commercial real estate interviews, make sure to hit the like button and let me know. And let me know in the comments what other interview questions you'd like to see covered in more detail in a future video. As always, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you found this helpful. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to see more videos like this every single week, and I'll see you in the next video.